Introduction. When Heather was growing up, I knew she was more special than other children. She was my eldest, and for a time, an only child. Since she was small, Heather was already a quiet child. I always thought she was mature for her age, because instead of playing with other children, she was quite content sitting on her own, busy scribbling away with her crayons on a drawing board. We could even leave her alone for hours, and she wouldn't mind. She was also very peculiar with noise. Whenever we would pass a mall with a blasting stereo, she would cover her eyes and cry. Heather would only calm down when we were back in the car, with a soothing lullaby in the background. Heather was always particular about everything. I was quite exhausted at first because she had a lot of demands. She cannot eat orange foods or beans. She hated synthetic fiber and had allergic reactions when she wore woolly clothes. She had to be picked up at 4 p.m. after class, or she'd fly into a rage. I was quite lost and angry at times because Heather would have tantrums and meltdowns in public when she didn't like something. From pleading to outright scolding, I tried to discipline Heather in the best way I could. In my desperation, I sought the advice of a friend on what to do. She was a mother of my daughter's classmates, and she could empathize with my dilemma. Her son was also very picky, and she was as lost as I was. But my friend told me to read about the highly sensitive person, a trait that she thought fitted my daughter very much. There were not a lot of resources, but I tried to read as many books and internet sources as I could. The more I read about highly sensitive persons, the more I felt that I understood Heather more. From being insecure and lost about taking care of Heather, I began to see her more as a gift I needed to take care of. I began to accept Heather for who she is, an emotional and precocious kid who needed my help more than ever. I began to tolerate some of her eccentricities and particular needs, but also made sure I didn't spoil her. In turn, I saw that Heather began to open up to me from being a recluse and quiet child. She began to confide in me her little secrets and thoughts. In her little ways, she found ways to surprise me with her thoughtfulness. She still had her tantrums, but I was able to set definite rules so she didn't have her way all the